So as I ask everybody, tell me what you do at RCD Mallorca. How do you say RCD Mallorca?
In which language?
Spanish, Catalan, sorry.
RCD Mallorca.
RCD Mallorca.
Real Mallorca.
Okay.
Hi all. Well, more than talking about just my role, because it's really like lots of things we do, and data is one of the things we do. Just very quick about what's Real Mallorca, because probably some of you doesn't know about the club. It's a 110 years old club. It's based in an island that it's a paradise.
Sometimes the ball falls in the sea, and that's a problem, but
we were talking about the NBA before. Some of the owners are Steve Nash and Steve Kerr. We've been in the first division for the last 5 consecutive years. And we have increased our season ticket holders for 120%. Very quick, why here and why data? Of course, our financials cannot be compared to Barça ones. It's obvious. So we are looking for, I joined the club almost 2 years ago. We are looking for different revenue streams, and one of them is data. So that's one of the reasons we are here.
And Jordi, maybe you don't need to introduce the club, but what you do at Barça?
Okay, so I'm the director of Barça Vision. And what's Barça Vision? Barça Vision is a subsidiary of FC Barcelona that is devoted to commercialize, to market digital experiences, digital products, digital services worldwide using emerging technologies. And this means AI, blockchain technologies, and extended reality.
And Tomer?
Hi, so I'm building new products at WSC. Over the last years, many of you have met me when I was leading the vertical SDK products, the stories, the reels. And now lately, due to a process that we've been, and that came actually from the market, where we heard from many people that they have an issue with data. Data is a thing. So I'm now leading and building new products in that area.
So let's start from why data, and if you want, do the FC Barcelona case. So what's the role of data, and what do you mean by data? Because data is everything. So for Barcelona, and then we will also ask...
Okay, so just to give a little of context, FC Barcelona has basically 4 traditional revenue streams. The first one is ticketing and match day. The second one is TV rights. The third one is sponsorship, basically about brand association and visibility. And the last one is physical merchandising. But there are 3 assets that we use to optimize, let's say, to improve these revenue streams, that are data, digital content, and knowledge. But we are absolutely convinced that these 3 assets, by their own, they should be the revenue streams in the future. So what do we mean with data? We have data and AI on top of data in many different ways. As an example, we have something like 520 million fans of FC Barcelona registered in social networks. But for instance, we have only in between 10 and 20 million in our CRM. So what do we do with the rest? With those that we don't have, we are not able to identify. So what does it mean, let's say, using data as a primary revenue stream? It means, for instance, using zero-party data monetization.
Define, sorry to interrupt. Define zero-party data. Because first-party data, I think we may know what it is, but zero?
Yeah, zero-party data, it means we have funds that basically, we know that they are funds, but that's basically all. But we have ways to, let's say, to impact them, for instance, through social networks. So we could, let's say, promote that they, for instance, answer surveys, yeah? And with their consent to share that information, anonymize, following GDPR, data protection, data privacy, all these things, but then making money all together. Them obtaining things that are appealing for them, and also, let's say, those who promote those, let's say, services, the club, but also for market analysis, other companies. So this means making money from zero-party data.
And I know that, you're at a different, if you want, part of the path. So you're starting with this, but especially because of the owner, what is your approach with data at the moment? What you're setting up?
As I said before, we're working for new revenue streams. Also the zero party, we're working in a similar project. But of course the numbers are a little bit different. They have 11 million people in the CRM. We have 11 million people in all the social networks. What we're trying to do is working like in knowing our fund. We're doing like, it's very famous for many years, like fan-centric, but we're really working on doing a 360 around our fund. We're working for less than a year to integrate all our digital assets and non-digital assets in the same ecosystem, so we can really know what is the movements, how our funds behave. And we are working just, of course, locally for our funds, local funds and season ticket holders, but we are also we have to start working on that, on our markets. The German market is very important for us, Japanese and the States. And as some of the La Liga guys here knows, because they're helping us with that.
And a bit controversial to say it in a WSC Sport event, but I thought you were doing just automatic highlights. Why is WSC Sport talking about fund data now?
So this is actually a good question, and it might sound easy to answer, but it is really hard. And it took us, I think, over a year of many people who thought about that question and asked ourselves, should we do it? We are approached with many ideas and asked to do many things, and we have a lot of internal ideas, and most of them are rejected because we say to ourselves, either it's not a real issue, it's more like a gimmick or not big enough, or we are not the one who should do it. We know that everything with us starts with content, and then the experiences that we developed over the last years, and now we want to complete the data. The way we approached that was that we talked with many people. And in that context, I will borrow a quote from a very famous psychologist who said that about big data in 2013. His name is Dan Ariely, and it really applies to fan data, I think. Fan data is like teenage sex. Everyone talks about it. Nobody really knows how to do it. Everyone thinks everyone else is doing it, so everyone claims they are doing it. And this is the reality. And that's when we understood that there is a really big pain and that we have an opportunity to solve a big pain. But this still doesn't say that we should be the ones doing it. And when we started talking with partners and we started looking at solutions, we understood that intertwining the content, the experiences, and the data, this is something that can create a 1 + 1 + 1 = 10. And we are the only ones that are able to do it because we have the data, we have the content, we created, we have the connection with the fans, and we have the opportunity then to create a really strong infrastructure that will enable the entire ecosystem to really lean into this area.
Jordi.
Yeah, I want to do something that I take profit of every single conference to say exactly the same. When we check our data, we see that, let's say, only 25% of our fans are women. And that's the first thing. And this is super important. I wanna focus on this because sports and technology is to male. And I'm not saying this for an individual or a corporate responsibility. I'm saying this also, in addition to, because it's the market to grow. There is such a huge opportunity when we analyze data to check that the market to grow is start creating products, start creating things appealing for women, and women being more involved in the business, that I think this is going to answer also the question that probably is going to be the last one, what's going to happen in the future. And we are seeing this with young women, at least in our club. The team that we are much more proud of is by far our women first team. They won 3 European champions in the last 5 years. They are doing amazing. We are seeing in Catalonia that women are buying jerseys as crazy, and they are more involved than ever in sports. So that's something that we check in data. We also check in data that in our e-commerce, women, they are, let's say, buying many things. So also from the point of view of business, data indicates that we have to go in this direction.
And in terms of the ecosystem, you already have all your digital touch points connected to one data lake or whatever you call it. So how is it? Are you already at a place where you're happy and you can, cross over and understand things?
Okay, we have two people here in the audience. One is the head of data, Christian Martin, that he has taken care of, let's say, of all these isolated data lakes, all these data lakes that we have had in the club. Now they are, let's say, in a single platform, and we are ready to put a lot of AI on top of this. So we have had to do a reorganization of the club to be, let's say, prepared for what's coming next. And the second thing is about digital content. We have 1 million images and videos in our archive. 3 years ago, we started, let's say, giving value to this archive when we auctioned in Sotheby's, New York, an NFT that was sold for $700,000, giving value to this archive and being the first thing that we did, let's say, regarding Barça Vision. So we have also here Ana Soler, who is the director of operations of Barça Vision, that is executing projects regarding this.
So during the dinner, let's talk about this with them, because they know more than Jordi, right?
Yes. This is what I wanted to say.
And for you, what is your strategy going forward in terms of what you want to build, both in terms of additional to what you have already, digital touch points and data lake on the other side?
Well, a little bit, just a couple of points from what Tomer said and
yes.
Jordi. Yeah, no, very quick. As Tomer said, everyone is talking about this for many years. Myself, 4 years ago, I was already talking about data-centric, and there's just a few clubs who are working really on that. And about it's a little bit different, our situation from them, not just because numbers, it's because a year and a half ago, everything was, our starting point was really different because we really have split information. It was heterogeneous. So for us, it was starting from very basic, and it also helped us a lot. So we define a new single sign-on, we define a new identity platform with a CDP, and we are not just integrating our digital assets, we are also developing new digital assets. For example, Business Club app a couple of weeks ago. We're working on a loyalty program that we want to launch in less than 2 months. We are working on maybe a OTT, it's not signed yet. And we're integrating everything on this ecosystem. And also not just the digital assets, but we're also working, for example, this loyalty program in order to understand the offline touch points. For example, our retail stores.
Mm-hmm. And one question for Jordi, and I can mention the sponsor. There was a lot of noise when Spotify became a Barça sponsor. So I'm super curious, to be honest. One, how is it to deal with this kind of new type of sponsors? And if the fan data was part of how much this kind of sponsor, maybe not only Spotify, fan data is a big part of the discussion, which maybe, I don't want to say 5 or 10 years ago, I don't think it was a discussion. What have you learned? Have you changed as a company, club, because you work with different sponsors now? A lot of questions, sorry.
What happens? Traditionally, the sponsors, they were looking for brand association and visibility, but that was the past. Yeah. We, the clubs, and I guess that Roger will say exactly the same, it happens that the sponsors are looking for much more than visibility. They are looking for tech integration, they are looking for adoption of the products, they are looking for joint projects, and we, the clubs, should be prepared for this. It's not easy. It's not easy because traditionally our commercial departments, what they have sold is about visibility assets, being in the jersey, in the sleeve, being in the LEDs of the stadium, etc. But really, there is a transformation from sponsors to partners. And we, as a club, we should not, we shouldn't be only providers of visibility. We have emotional content. This archive of 1 million images and videos of our men and women players, Alexia Putellas, Aitana Bonmatí, Maradona, Messi, Xavi, Lamine Yamal, this emotional content should be part of the business. Our data, we have data that is amazing because we have, as we said, 520 million fans in our social networks. So this means that if we want to do market analysis for our partners on how the world is evolving in terms of, let's say, wishes, young, old, men and women, the information is there. We have to do it. We are providers of data, users, emotional contents, visibility. So instead of being clients of many companies, I think the relationship should change. And instead of, let's say, being only a commercial, let's say, agreement, it should be more a partnership agreement. In this sense, companies like Spotify, obviously they are interested in opening new markets in which the club is present, South America, Asia, etc., and improving, let's say, the revenues in these markets. And for that, let's say, it's not only about visibility, it's about, for instance, second-party data in between the companies.
And if you can, if it's a good question, I don't know. Have you built something for them or for, so like you said, oh, we need to build this for them.
That's confidential.
Okay. So yes, basically. No, I'm joking. Talk about sponsors. Are you approaching, because of also the new ownership, are you approaching sponsor in a different way now? Or have you a request with this sponsor from different things than in the past, you think?
Sponsors are already approaching us, requesting to have a minimum number of registered users. But we know that it's only the first step. Afterwards, they will want to have qualified users, registered users. So we're working, that's one of the reasons we're working on not just getting more registered users, but also fitting them with interesting information, personalized information, and also that this is a revenue stream also for our sponsors.
And for both of you, the players, clearly they have massive impact. Are they, like we were saying before with content, no? With content, they're starting to be part of the game, even in abundance mode together. In terms of fan data, are they like completely separate? Are they even competing with what you're doing? What is the relations in these cases with play? I know that, like you said with sponsor, player negotiation now have a part of the contract that is about their social followers, blah, 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 blah. Are they a part of this, if you want word, or no, they are separate because they're entity that are separate in terms of marketing, etc.? I know it's a difficult question, I'm sorry.
Okay, so here there are several things. One thing has to do, data about players. You know that we have tracking data, event data from their performance on the pitch, yeah? And that's super important for us because, for instance, we have a team that's called Sports Analytics team that they do pre-match analysis, post-match analysis, scouting, etc. And they are super professional, and that information is quite confidential, and we are using this. Yeah? It's quite, let's say, internal. Yeah? But then, if you mean data in terms of engagement, in terms of revenue streams,
yes.
You know, for instance, that players, every time, and I think this is data, every time that they celebrate a goal, they do it in a different way. And they have personal ways of celebrating a goal. That's part of their private data. Yeah? So I think we need regulation for this, to understand this, especially now with Gen AI, that many things could be, let's say, generated from private information from the players, and what is the limit that this information belongs to them or belongs to us according to the agreements that we have or the contracts that we have. I don't think, let's say, the contracts are, let's say, updated to understand where we are.
And for you?
In the same way, we can split the data for players, etc. We're working on that also. I think most of the team should be probably working on that. But we're also trying to gather all the information, not just wellness, all the GPSs, all the academy guys, etc. In the future, well, we believe it's not short to medium term, but thinking that all this data could be valuable in order to understand how injuries works, etc. Right? Something I would say for long term. But also you can, of course, it could be a revenue stream for companies that can use this data. And for And for the other side, my communications director will kill me.
Don't say it.
Director, no, I would say that we help the players, like for example, providing them all the information, all the videos, we tag them, all the pictures, and they use it. We use, of course, like you guys, the players for some advertisements with our sponsors. But I think it's better when we have some.
And in terms of, we touched about it, but in a bit not vague, but if we talk about monetization of data, can you make an example of like direct monetization of fan data? Sorry, I'm talking about.
I like to say that digital content is very similar to fan data or to data in the sense that we have an archive of 1 million images and videos, and till now it was only used for, let's say, for audiovisuals. It was only used for, let's say, for content in social networks, etc. But it could be directly used for monetization. An example. And again, Anna Soler should explain this because she's leading the project. We have launched quite recently a digital trading card game, similar to the Pokemon trading card game, worldwide. Why worldwide and why digital? Because we have fans in Singapore, in Nigeria, in South America. They don't have the chance to buy, let's say, physical cards. And then the idea is to create from this digital content digital products, in this case, a digital trading card game that, in this case, is about the digital of FC Barcelona, but it's not only our club. Is in a let's say in a platform that is called Collectible, and it's not only FC Barcelona. There are other clubs from the Spanish First Division, and many more clubs will join, and we all together as a consortium, we think that it will grow a lot. That's an example, but there are many other examples. For instance, we have created the official FC Barcelona Discord channel. This is important because the way that youngers are consuming, let's say, social networks and experiences is different from, let's say, from olders. And my sons, they are in Discord many hours per day. E-gamers, people that they want to be educated, they spend a lot of time in channels that are different from the traditional ones, and we should pay attention to that. And they create content, and there is a lot of behavioral data there to pay attention.
So I think that the topic of data monetization, when we look outside of the sports world, has been solved over the last 10 years. E-commerce, video, news, entertainment. And in the reality for the sports world, for the majority, is like that the data is still like oil that is buried under the ground and needs to be extracted somehow. And it's very hard to find those pipes. And what we are trying to do is actually to take concepts that are working and to enable everyone in the industry to be able to extract that out, because everyone knows that they sit on a large data set that is very valuable in theory, but practically not so much. And we want to be able to really enable everyone to take what works in other places on the internet and to apply it to their ecosystem in a safe and really good manner.
Yeah, Tomer, just a comment, because you're completely right. We are a sports club, so our main goal is to score goals. Yeah? So we have no idea, let me exaggerate a little, about how to make money with data. Yeah? We have a lot of data. Maybe we have a strategy on that, but we don't need companies to come into us and saying, with this platform you will make a lot of money. No, we need companies to approach us and say, we'll make money for you, because our goal is scoring goals, not the rest of the things.
I have to tell my Torino team that it's the same goal at the moment, and we're not doing well. What about, sorry, 2-2 with Pisa, come on, yesterday. So what about you in terms of what's next now, 2026? I know you have a lot to do, so it will be easy to reply to 2026.
Well, there's many projects ahead of us, but basically based on data, it's integrating all this fully ecosystem. We currently have like 16, 17 digital assets. We're launching the new loyalty program. They will allow us to have contact, like touch points with the offline retail stores. We're launching probably OTT and other digital assets that we are integrating. So basically, once we integrate everything, it's not just integrated, it's not just a single sign-on, it's understanding what our fans do, what they interact with us, what do they like about us, what do they buy, and what we can offer them. And also, of course, what we can offer to our sponsors. And in fact, one of the main objectives when I joined the club is changing the technology department from just a cost center department to not just helping the departments, but providing and monetizing money by itself. As the project he mentioned before about the zero, he speaks much better than me. The zero.
Come on, not true.
The zero data projects.
Very quick, 2026.
Okay, so today we have seen many things about generative AI in content creation. I think this is going to be a clear revolution. But on top of this, I think there is a bigger revolution, is that every individual man or woman in the world using AI will have more spare time to devote to entertainment. So I really think that is going to grow a lot at the market of entertainment, and this basically means that the king or the queen of entertainment, that is football, will grow a lot. And I hope now that it will be the start of, let's say, of paying attention to women that they have been ignored a lot.
Thank you. 2026?
So similar to what Ruyer said, in general, being able the same way we did with our vertical product, where we were able to provide any sport organization, no matter the size, to have in their own O&O products that are on par with the huge social networks. So do the same way and enable every club, every league, every broadcaster to have the monetization capabilities that are the same as Google and Facebook or anyone else, so that they will be able to really own their data and monetize it without just giving it away.
Any questions? Or time for dinner? Yeah, that was a difficult one to say. Okay, understood. Va bene, so thank you, and Forza Mallorca, Forza Barça. Ciao.